Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is doing well. So today I want to talk about resistance to truth. So it comes from a couple of things. I was just watching a YouTube video about it was some guy talking about resistance to the way. I guess he goes to one of AJ's seminars or something like that. And so he was talking about that stuff. In conjunction with something else that I saw this morning, I found out, I don't know when this happened, but Tyler Perry opened up his own movie studio. So like Warner Brothers, Paramount, all those movie studios. He opened his own. I'm not sure where it is. Maybe in Georgia somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't know. But the size of it is massive. It's bigger than, I think they mentioned 3 or 4 studios combined. And it has more, what do you call those, like housing props, I don't know what you call them. They're not real, but, they use them for movies and stuff like that. Anyway, it's just massive land with all these different sound studios and just all kinds of stuff. And so I was listening to the people talk about it. They were doing like a red carpet thing, and people, celebrities, actors, were talking about how they feel about it, and how what they were saying was people told him that it wasn't possible. It was impossible. It was a bad idea, and they shouldn't do it, or he shouldn't do it. And the thing is, if he would have bought into someone else's idea or feeling about it, then it would have never happened. And the truth is, the reason for this video is to say that anything is possible. Anything is possible. We look at our life here in 2019, and we can go back to the 1700s, and none of the stuff that we have today existed back then. But someone had an idea. Someone had a concept. Someone had a feeling, a desire to make it happen, to bring it to fruition. And the thing is, one thing is built upon another. One thing is built upon another. For instance, people used to have to use buckets to carry water. And then, they discovered there was water under the land, under the ground. And they had wells. And then, we had, indoor plumbing. All these different things, they're so simple, and these are things we really take for granted, but these things didn't exist back then, but someone had an idea, and it's based on lack. All the ideas that we have is based on lack. Hold on a second, I need to turn some air on in here. For instance, a person who had to carry buckets of water back to their village. They felt, hey, gosh, I wish it was an easier way to get water. So they found out, someone discovered that, hey, there's water in the ground, or hey, let's do plumbing. That's actually one of the biggest things is let's route the water from this place to this place, or let's move our village to this place where the water is. Like all these different ideas. And most cities actually are surrounded by water, or near water sources. That's where our major metropolitan places end up, is because there's water nearby. But I just, it's so important to remember that whatever ideas or concepts you have, they're valid, and any concept that you have is valid. Any idea that you have is valid, and it's so important to not allow anyone to take that away from you, to take whatever idea or concept and throw it in the trash, because when you do that, a part of you dies. A part of you just withers away, because your joy, your excitement, your happiness is based on these ideas that you have. And you're given these ideas on purpose. like these concepts, they're given to you, and you're like, it's for you to carry out, for you to share something with humanity, because that's basically what's happening. It doesn't matter if you're creating little dolls. It could be, that's what you like to do and it brings you joy. Well, there's some little girl out there or little boy, whoever wants to collect these things, or even adults want to collect these things. So it's whatever you have within you that is a contribution, let that out. And don't allow anyone to tell you that it's not a good idea. Because understand, anytime anyone says that's not a good idea, they mean it's not a good idea for them, not for you. So when someone gives their opinion, it's really for themselves. And 9 times out of 10, we apply it to other people. Or I should say, we allow them to apply their idea about themselves upon us. So whatever idea they have, understand it's for them. It's not for you. People have asked me, do you think this is a good idea? The question is it a good idea for you? It may not be a good idea for me. I may not want to start a business making wigs. But someone else may. They may love, making wigs for people who have cancer, or making wigs for old people. It doesn't matter. If they like making wigs, they like making wigs. I personally wouldn't want to sit down in one place and be sewing wigs together. That's not my thing. They say, hey, I'm thinking of starting a snow cone store. Fine. I wouldn't want to start a snow cone store. But if that's what you want to do, then do it. Because I may not want to start a snow cone store, but I definitely would walk into one. So we have to remember, the things that we desire, it's for us to carry out because it makes us happy. And people have so many ideas, and this is why it's so important to understand truth. And the truth is, you are capable and able to do whatever it is that you desire. That's the truth. And don't be resistant to that truth. When you're resistant to that truth, that means you're buying someone else's idea. Someone else, I said that twice. Someone else, I say a lot of things twice, but this time I caught it. Someone else's concept. That's fine. Everyone has ideas and concepts, visions. I have a lot of them, but they're not part, like at work. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of views, a lot of concepts, productive ones, things, ones that will assist many. But if the other people don't see it, then it's not going to benefit them, and it's not going to benefit me trying to enforce it upon someone. So whatever ideas I have to express them in a way that is freeing. First of all, I have to express them. That's number one. If you have an idea, if you have a concept, you have to express it. It must be expressed. The soul expressed. That's what that is. Every idea, every concept that you have, it's the soul being expressed. And that's no different from someone doing harmful, bad things. It is their soul being expressed. And the thing is, a person who is able to do things, unloving things, hurtful things, harmful things upon others, they don't see it as that. And so they will have to see their soul expressed upon another, look at the results of that, and then hopefully come to realize that that's not the way to go. And so their soul must be expressed. They must express that anger. Now, is it unloving to do that towards another? Absolutely. But they're not thinking about other people if their soul is degraded, if they have anger and hatred and rage within them. They're not thinking about anybody else. So these events are going to have to play out. And the thing is, there's many souls out there which are degraded, I should say who are degraded, who are going to allow this type of event, who's going to allow this type of pain to come to them. And so they are a cooperative component to the aggressor. And so they will end up being the victim because they hold victimhood within their soul. Until they cleanse that out, they're going to continue being a victim on so many different things. So understand the truth. And that is, that's the thing. Resistance to truth all the way around is going to cause you pain. So until the person understands that the reason why they act out and do these unloving things to others and themselves, they're going to continue experiencing pain. That's the truth of it. That is the truth. So another truth is, what are you doing? You just want to piss people off, I see. Just piss everybody off. Let me see. How are we doing this? Are we doing this? How are we doing this is the question. We do it right here. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, we'll do this. So, anyway, there's so many truths out there, and like I said, all pain is coming from us living in a non-truth, an untruth, a fabrication, a facade. Especially for those who feel they have to, work in a certain career. That's a falsehood. Will it bring you wealth? Possibly. It could possibly bring you wealth. There's people who have degrees and they're not able to get a job with their degree. And that's all based on the soul condition. That should be proof that that our soul really dictates the outcome. Because there's many people who hold degrees, but there's also many people, or I should say there's many people who hold the same degree in the same field, and not all of them are working in that field. Not all of them are able to get a job in that field. Not all of them are able to be successful in that field. And that should tell you, it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is what you hold within you, the truth that you hold within you, because there are people who have a clear idea as to what they want and what they're going to get after they do what they need to do to get there. So some people may have a vision and say, hey, you know what, I want to be an English lit professor. All right, so they go to school to do that, and that's what they become. And they have the vision, and that vision is supported because they don't have anything conflicting. So they don't have any resistance to that vision. And most people have resistance to their vision. And like I said, the vision is your truth. It is what is true for you. So if you have a vision for yourself and you see yourself doing something, that will come to manifest. The only time it doesn't manifest is if you have a conflicting vision. So if you have resistance to that vision, any resistance to that vision, if there's anything that says you can't, if there's anything that says it's hard, if there's anything that says it's going to take a while, if there's anything that says someone has to give it to you, then all those resistances that you hold within yourself prevent that vision from coming. Jesus, what are you doing? I hope you stay in this lane. You do not need to be in the other lane. You need to, I forgot what I was saying. But being that you're not as distracted as I am right now with these cars, you understand what I was going to say, hopefully. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, resistance, it takes away from the vision that you have. And the thing is, all you have to do is not hold the resistance anymore, because the vision is already there. The vision is already there for you. You've already created the vision. You already know what it looks like having whatever it is that you desire. The vision is there already in full form. It's there. Some people know they want to have a big 7-bedroom house. That is a vision, and that can come to manifest for someone, but they have to get rid of all the resisting type thoughts and behaviors. The feelings, it's the thoughts and the feelings that really dictate your behavior. So whatever fears you have, whatever thoughts you have, whatever feelings you have that say that can't happen, or I'm not going to get support, whatever it is that blocks that from happening, that's what you have to get rid of. You don't have to do anything to your vision other than change it whenever you want. So if you want an 8-bedroom house instead of a 7-bedroom house, and you desire the 8-bedroom house, you're done with that. That's already done. You have the feeling associated with it. This is why Abraham Hicks says, you know, your thoughts and your feelings, your thoughts and your feelings, your thoughts and your feelings. Clean it up, because all these resisting thoughts and feelings is what murks the water. And it's almost, and so how Abraham Hicks would explain it is, or I should just say Abraham would explain it is, you have your vision, but now you threw all this mud on it. And now it's not as clear as it could be, so you have to remove the mud. You have to remove the lower vibration. You have to remove the negative thoughts. You have to remove the doubt. You have to remove the low vibration, because this is equivalent to the mud on the painting. And so you want your painting, you want your photo, you want your vision to be very, very clear. And once you do that, it just starts happening. But the problem is, when we live our everyday lives, the problem is the mind. The problem is trying to be too smart. And so you don't allow the soul to be the driving force. You allow the mind to be a driving force. So let's say, for instance, you do want an 8-bedroom house. Wherever. You just want an 8-bedroom house. It really doesn't matter where it is. It's going to come wherever it's going to come. The least resistance. But what happens is you have these daily interactions with people, and you try to figure out how you're going to get it. How is that going to come? That's the problem. So we're like, oh, I have to do I have to do a couple of business deals. I have to work 8 jobs. I have to not have kids. I have to do all these different things. And these are the things that keep your vision from manifesting, because you're trying to control everything else, meaning deprive yourself of all other things that you want just to get this one thing. And most people sacrifice everything around their life in order to have the one thing. So the person who has a desire to be wealthy, they will put everything on the back burner. They'll put relationships on the back burner. They'll put children on the back burner. They'll put everything on the back burner, and they'll sacrifice their happiness that would come from those things. And I know this heifer didn't try it. I know they didn't try it. They tried it. They tried to cut in front of me. It's an Uber and Lyft driver. I understand the skills, baby, but I got some better skills for you. Anyway, you know, they sacrifice, you know, and you don't see it often, but you do see it, you know. And this is what happens. You have the couple, you have either the single whatever, the single man or the single woman, or you have the couple, and they're like, you know what, right now is not the right time. Let's wait. Let's do this. Let's do that. But if they really want the child in the moment, they desire the child in the moment, they want to love the child in the moment, but their bank account says, in their mind, it doesn't feel comfortable to do it at this point, they have literally sacrificed the happiness and the joy that they would be getting from having the child. And so they work and work and work and work, and all these years go by, and then they attempt to have a child, and they can't have a child. And they don't know why they created this. They don't know why this is happening. They said, we did everything right. We waited, blah, 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 blah. And the thing is, we create these painful experiences because we create these painful experiences because we create these painful experiences. Like, the painful experience isn't being had because of anything else other than the soul, the person who is experiencing it. All things experienced are all things created by the person experiencing it. I saw something on YouTube, and it read, we are only experiencing ourselves. It's the only thing, I've seen this before, it's a New Age thing, where, you know, they say, you know, it's only you, nobody else is around, and they go a bit too far with that, but the concept has validity, because you are experiencing yourself. You're not experiencing anybody else. You may be interacting with someone else, which is causing you to experience whatever you experience. So you can interact with Jane or Joe, and they do something you don't like, and then you project all this anger and hatred. Well, the anger, or the painful karma is going to be from you projecting all of that anger. It's not because of the other person. It's only part of the other person. It's like someone can harm you, and but understand there's something within your soul that's attracting it. You may not be aware of this because it may be from generations back, but it's in your soul. But someone can do something to you, and you will not be penalized for the interaction unless you do something unloving in return. It's the resistance that you create that creates the resistance that you experience. Wah, wah. That's it. So we are, in a sense, only experiencing ourselves, but we are interacting with others. That is very important to understand, you know? You know? It's very important. And it's all, like I said, it's all resistance. It's all resistance. We're just being resistant to ourselves, creating the resistance, experiencing the resistance. That's all we're doing, is we're experiencing the existence that we create. There's no other reason than that. And so we have the power to control that. We have the power to change that, I should say. We don't have to respond like others. We don't have to respond in like. We can simply respond in a way that is going to be loving. We can respond in a way that's going to be understanding. We can respond in a way that's going to have compassion. Those are the options we have. Those should be the only option we have. We shouldn't have any other option. But because of our free will, you can do anything you want to do. We can do anything we want to do. But if you want to be loving, then change the option that you have. You know, when someone curses you out or tries to take a dig at you, just leave those people alone. Leave them alone. And what you'll notice is, if you choose yourself over their hatred, what will happen is your soul will increase in love. Your soul, you will progress. You will have soul progression. Upward. Upward, upward, upward. And that's what you want. That's what you want. Just leave people alone who are unloving. But you can't have any hatred towards them. You can't have anything like that. That's the one thing that that's where people fall short. They're like, well, I'm not gonna fuck with this person anymore. Screw that hoe, screw that bitch, blah 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 blah. That bastard, that asshole. It doesn't matter. People say that all the time. But they hold resentment, like they're not communicating with them because they make them angry, but that doesn't change the resistance and the hatred and the rage that they have within them, that they hold for that person. The judgment and the condemnation that is within their being, that never changes. So this is why it's important to be in tune with who you are and understand why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. You know, if there's nothing else you understand, Jesus, understand that whatever you feel, it's your creation. Whatever you experience is your creation. And the thing is, whatever you put out there, it's going to come back to you. So whatever hatred, whatever disdain that you have for someone, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. People are going to hate you. People are not going to support you. People are going to crap all over you. People are going to put you in more positions. And the thing is, you're doing it yourself. It's like other people aren't really doing it to you. It's like you are literally experiencing yourself. Because the hatred that you project is a hatred that you hold within you. It's almost like a double whammy. The hatred and the rage that you hold within you, and the hatred and the anger that you project at others, all comes back. So you're getting a double whammy. Not only are you being unloving to yourself, that's one whammy, you're being unloving to another, that's another whammy, that's a double whammy. And people don't see it like that, and then they wonder why their lives are so fucked up. Well, it's fucked up because you keep fucking up. Really, you keep doing these things that harm you and harm others. Because though you may not say, I hate your guts to someone, it's being projected at them. It's being project it towards them. And depending on their condition of love, if they don't have the condition of love within themselves to protect themselves, it will come into their being, and they will feel it, and they won't know why. Most people don't know why they feel what they feel. They just know they're feeling a certain kind of way, and it's energetic. The same thing that happens in the spirit world happens here on earth. The same thing. It's interesting. I have a friend who has had, not so great interactions with their parents, and they really haven't said anything to their parents, but they hold and project all this anger towards their parents, and then the parents are the ones being verbal about it, being vocal about it, saying hurtful things, and they can't understand why. They cannot understand why. And it's because you're projecting all this anger and hatred and rage towards the person. Obviously, this is not the freeway I want to be on. Let's take the 10. The Santa Monica Freeway. And it's a cycle that's happening, and they're completely unaware that they feel, most people feel, if I don't say anything to you, then I'm not projecting anything at you. But when you're in your mind and in your feelings wishing them harm and wishing them ill will, that stuff is being projected outward, and it's affecting their soul. You may not see it because you can't see the soul, nor can you see the energy that comes out of you when you project that stuff. And then in return, the universe is giving to you what you're putting out. So it's not just what you do, and it's not just what you say. It's what you feel. It's what you think. You're projecting all this stuff, and people are receiving it. In the spirit world, when you die, you will see the thoughts and the feeling coming out of you as energy, and it will be different colors, and the different colors represent emotions. Different types of emotions. Are you sending out love? Are you sending out hatred? Are you sending out fear? Are you sending out whatever? It doesn't matter what it is. It's coming out of you and being projected towards the person you're projecting it at. That's what's happening on earth as it is in the heavens. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's so funny to hear that. Ah, yes. On earth as it is in heaven. Absolutely. It's not changing. Because it's a constant that the Creator has created. The Creator did not make anything complicated. The Creator just made it so that it operates the same way as on earth, as in heaven, as on earth. It's the same thing. So this is why the lessons can be continually learned as you pass. But it's just there's more information available when you do pass. So you have more of an opportunity to better your soul condition, but you also have a greater opportunity to degrade your soul condition. It's just more intensified. So, when these New Age people, they say, oh, this is a school, it's like preschool. Like, I remember Dolores Cannon saying that. And I understand they didn't say it the way that it kind of really happens, but I understand it. I understand it. They had to make the school reference, It's like, okay, this is like kindergarten, and we're learning, we're just babies, and as we progress and mature in our soul condition, we have more power, blah 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 blah, and that happens. But on earth, you don't want to give someone it's almost like you don't want to give someone full control over something if they don't understand. You want to give them an opportunity. And that's what the Creator gives, is opportunities. Here on earth, we have an opportunity to learn that if we say something, it hurts someone's feelings. If we say something that is hurtful, then the pain is dwelling within that person. And that's what happens. If we say, you know what, look here, you dumbass, whatever, and someone feels pain, well, that's the reason why they're feeling pain, is because we were projecting pain. That was our intent, and that's what happened. That's one thing to notice. But there's also something else to realize and recognize and notice, is that someone can say something to you, But you have the power to reject that feeling. You have the power to do that. And the only way to do that, understand this, people, the only way to do that is if you are connected with your being. If you are connected with self, if you are aware of self, you understand self, then you will be able to do this. This is not the same thing as ignoring someone. This is not the same thing as mentally blocking out someone. This is not the same thing as saying, oh, that person's degraded, so I'm not going to listen to them. That's not the same thing, because you're using your mind to block it, but your soul is absorbing it if it is degraded in a manner where it can absorb something like that and you not having any idea about it. This is what people call the subconscious. So yeah, they may have called you a bitch to your face, and consciously you're like, whatever, you're poor, blah, blah, blah. But subconsciously, it affects you. This is the subconscious is nothing but the soul wide open. It's not really another part of your brain as most people believe, but if that's what you want to believe and that's the way you need to understand it, then understand it that way. Because the bottom line is just to get the understanding. You get the other stuff will be ironed out later as you become more open, as you allow yourself to have more knowledge. This homeless man has been there, I don't know, 365 days, I think over a year. He's always asking money for something. That's his way of life. That's his way of life, and anybody who feeds him supports that way of life. But I see that as a degraded way of life. That is not a chosen life. That's a life that people choose when they feel they don't have anything more to do or give. But it's not a chosen way of life. Now I think that's going to be my next video. Anyway, that's it for that, people. Just be mindful of the resistance that you have. Understand that you are able and capable and worthy to do any and everything, and it doesn't matter that other people won't like it, or it doesn't matter that other people frown upon it. It doesn't matter that people feel that it won't work. Understand, like I said, it's for them. It won't work for them. It's not something they want to do. You know, when people ask me, do you think this is a good idea? It's like, do you think it's a good idea? You tell me. Do you want to do this? Then you do it. You know, we were having kind of a conversation like this. So there were, you know, they wanted to recognize birthdays and I think it was birthdays and and just staff recognition. You know, so on a monthly basis, they wanted to, you know, people pitch in money, you know, to buy stuff like cake or whatever, you know. And people were really reluctant. They didn't want to participate. Some people didn't participate. And so the conversation had come up, you know, is it a good idea? Should we keep doing it? And it's like, well, I don't know. You know, what do you think? You know, do you want to continue to do it? The consensus was basically no, because people don't appreciate it. The work and the effort being put into it. So I think you guys remember, if you guys have been listening, but I noticed after I kind of took a break. But anyway, I had went to the Porto's, the bakery, and bought things for the staff just because I wanted to, and it had nothing to do with the money that they contributed. It had nothing to do with the recognition. It's just something that I wanted to do. And so in that respect, I didn't ask anybody, well, do you think it's a good idea? Should I do this? You know, it's like I did it because I felt I wanted to do it. And that's it. And I felt amazing doing it. Oh, Lord. There's always one. There's always a car. So, you know, I didn't have any issue with it. And the thing is, the conversation that the feelings that other people had about not wanting to do it didn't have anything to do with me. And I felt great about doing it. And I actually got a lot of praise from it, you know, and I got a lot of thanks from it. And that's not what I was looking for. I just wanted to do something for people because I love helping people and showing, just showing gratitude and appreciation, you know. Because that was my way of saying I like working with the team. I like working with the group of people that I work with. And it was also to bring people together, because I understand that you know, right now our group is very fractured. So, you know, it's just something I wanted to do. And I didn't care what anybody else thought. Other people thought it wasn't a good idea. And that's fine. And so they didn't have any part in it. And so therefore they didn't have any part in the result. Meaning they didn't have part in the praise, and they didn't have part of the thanks. They didn't have part in the gratitude. They didn't have part in the appreciation. They didn't have part in anything. And that's why I say, you know, if you have an idea, let it be. 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 Oh my goodness. And so that's why it's important to hold on to your views, your dreams. Hold on to the visions that you have. Because when you have it and you go it alone, you reap all the benefits from it. All the benefits. Some things you may need a partner. Sometimes you don't need a partner. Some people, like going into business, some people feel that they need a partner to make it happen. Well, we all know what can possibly happen with a partner. All kinds of things can happen. Oh, my partner pulled out, or my partner wants to do this instead of that. All kinds of things. But you go it alone and you reap all the benefits. You don't have to split anything. And then on the flip side of that, you can go into it with doubt and fail by yourself and lose everything. It just depends, people. It just depends. All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye now.